Hi folks, welcome to another stall13.com video. Once again, we're going to talk about winterizing your faucets. A lot of people have these. They're called freezeless hydrants. The reason they're called freezeless hydrants is by design, this long shaft on this pipe. Ranger, come here, you're in the shop. Thank you very much, goofy dog. There's the actual shutoff valve isn't here. There's actually a long rod going down in this pipe, like this. There's a long rod going down the pipe below ground. Some of these are 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet. They even make them 8 feet long. Now what happens is that there's a plunger at the bottom. That's where the shutoff is. And then right above where the plunger makes contact with the shutoff at the bottom of this freezeless hydrant are a couple little holes. So that when you actually turn this water on, when you shut it off, this latch is pushing that plunger all the way down to the length of this pipe. And then the water that is left in this pipe drains out. That's why it's freezeless, so there's no water in here. But here's the problem. If you don't install these properly, if you don't bury them deep enough, and you live in a part of the country where foundations are 4 feet deep, water lines are 6 feet deep, and you only get this hydrant at 3 feet deep, well, at the bottom of this pipe, where that plunger is, that water is going to freeze. Now, the other problem is that there is a little residual moisture in this pipe, and that can block that rod from sliding up and down. So, how do you winterize a hydrant? This is what you do. Notice this one has already been barber poled with the electric heat tape that you put on water pipes in your home or your businesses. Now the other thing is that whenever possible, you don't want to use an extension cord. We used to have the closest outlet was right up here. And so there was literally just a few feet of distance. Well, we'd have to buy a 6-foot extension cord. We couldn't find any shorter. We could have made one, but we were lazy and we didn't. So I had an electrician come out and specifically install another outlet right over here so that this plugs in. And there's no extension cord. Because remember, in other videos about tank heaters, I talk about how it's so much safer not to use extension cords. Once you get this covered, barber poled around here, you can secure it with some electrical tape or duct tape. They don't get that warm. The next thing you want to do is you want to get yourself what's called some pipe insulation. It's sold at hardware stores, even farm-to-market stores sell it. I even think large kind of catch-all stores sell it. It's very inexpensive. It comes in 6-foot lengths for just a few dollars. It's already spliced. I didn't cut this. This actually has some adhesive on it, so that once it goes around the pipe, you peel these off and it'll stick together, so that you have a nice foam insulation around this. Now what we have here is we have a board that's stabilizing this hydrant so it doesn't get hurt by horses or equipment. So unfortunately we can't go all the way around this. But at your home, you cut this to fit, and then once you do, you just slide it over the pipe and make sure that you have a nice, good, comfortable fit. And see how that really insulates that pipe now? Now what this is doing, ladies and gentlemen, is this simple, cheap, a couple dollars insulation is not only protecting the pipe from cold air and cold wind, which would cause this to freeze, well, you're also not wasting electricity, because now that heat tape that's barber poled around the pipe, well, the heat isn't going out into the barn. It's actually heating the pipe, and it's staying in this insulation, which means that you're really getting what you're paying for with a heater. So now this pipe, because already when I stick my fingers in here, the pipe is getting, I can feel it, it's just a little warm. Now if you can get all the way around the pipe, I recommend that you don't rely on that seam from the manufacturer of the foam. I recommend that you take duct tape, electrical tape, some type of tape, and barber pole it, seal it up nice and tight. Because if you do this properly, you don't have to uninstall this. In the summertime, all you have to do is just unplug it and leave it like this until next winter. Also, on these hydrants, I recommend on these heat tapes that you change these out about every 2 years. I know if the light comes on them and you think they're warm, it's a safety factor. I'd rather spend a few dollars than have some type of electric fire or short in my barn. Well, this is how you winterize a hydrant. Hope it's helpful. Hope you have a nice, safe winter. This has been another Stall13.com video. Take care of yourself and your horses.